input we need to talk about is the custom carbon factor input. As organisations advance their carbon management efforts, improving the accuracy of their carbon footprint calculations becomes essential. One effective approach is integrating supplier-specific data into the process. This not only creates a more representative carbon footprint, but also allows the impact of supply chain decarbonisation efforts to be accurately reflected year on year. We sort of mentioned this in the bill of quantities video. So if we're using XIO-based factors, then the only way to reduce your carbon footprint is by spending less money, as these are based on monetary activity factors. So if you can only reduce your footprint by spending less money, then it is not possible to reflect any carbon that you've integrated into your decision making, or if you're choosing certain suppliers because they have a smaller carbon impact, then if you're still using monetary data, this switchover will not be reflected in your corporate carbon footprint. So creating a custom carbon factor tailored to an organisation's supply chain is a great way to enhance carbon footprint accuracy and also to reflect these decarbonisation efforts accurately. So these factors can be added using the custom carbon factor input tab in the tool, so this tab here. One thing to note is that when inputting custom carbon factors, it's critical to ensure that they maintain the same boundaries and completeness as the carbon factor they are replacing. So if you are replacing an XIO-based factor, then you need to make sure that the carbon factor that you're replacing it with has the same boundaries, includes the same things to maintain that consistency throughout the carbon footprint calculations. So I will just demonstrate how you input. So as always, input your name, and then let's say we're doing it for a plant hire company A, and tons of CO2 per pound spent. Let's say it's 1. And we've already said that it's going to be per pound, and it's for this year. As always, you can add any additional notes you want. So let's just add that in, and we can see that down here. Now the custom carbon factors are indicated by custom hyphen the record number, just to sort of differentiate them from the standard carbon factors so that you know where you're looking, so it's easier to trace back the calculations if you need to undertake an audit or something. So I'll just demonstrate recalling as always. It's the same. Let's say there's adjustment in the supplier's corporate carbon footprint. And now we can see it's been recalled. You've got your record number and the reason. So let's just change it to 0.97, add it back in, and you can see that it's changed and that the amendment information has also been input into the table. So when I did the bill of quantities video, I touched on the fact that you could use a custom carbon factor, but because there weren't any in the database, it was perhaps not entirely clear how you would use them. So I will just demonstrate that here. So we know that we have input tons of carbon dioxide per pound spent at plant hire company A. So the obvious choice of where to be using this custom carbon factor is in this Y2 row in the table. So let's say we spent £1,000, and so to indicate to the tool that we want to use a custom carbon factor, you see this column here, custom carbon factor if applicable. You can now see that plant hire company A, kilograms of carbon dioxide per pound. So you want to make sure that this pound aligns with the unit in this column, otherwise it just will not make sense. And so if we then add this in, and then go to the database, we will see that in the custom carbon factor, if applicable, we have got the carbon factor that we used.